And welcome back. Well, we often talk about the importance of having an estate plan, no matter how much you own. But what happens if you don't have one?
Right. Joining us now is Dan Krause. He's an attorney from Krause Estate Planning and Elder Law Center, and he brought his true false paddle.
He sure did.
Right? There we go. True. He brought it.
True, I did bring it.
All right. I love talking about these things because these are basically like, we talk a little bit about probate, but these are things that I think a lot of people, misconceptions, let's say, that people have. So let's start with this first one. True or false? I need to make a will so my estate won't go through probate.
So Molly, you are the only one who loves to talk about this, I find. But besides me, I love talking about this. So if you have a will, do you go through probate or not? Well, probate is a court case that happens after people die in order to transfer their assets so that people don't just run in and grab stuff. It has to be controlled in some way. But a will is just a part of the probate process. So you don't avoid probate if you have a will. A will is sort of like a ticket to probate, actually.
Oh, okay.
But it helps decipher then what you really wanted.
Exactly. So the will controls the distribution. It says who gets everything and who's going to be the personal representative or the executor, and being under control of that. But it doesn't avoid the probate process, because without the probate or the court stamping off on the will, it has no power. So for example, if you took somebody's will after they died into the bank and said, see, I'm supposed to get everything, the bank will not give it to you. The will doesn't mean anything to the bank without the court's approval.
Without probate. I didn't know that.
Number 2, the information from probate proceedings is public. True or false?
So probate is a court proceeding, and in Wisconsin and most states, court proceedings are almost always public. So
True.
Court proceedings are public. So that if you have a probate or your family has a probate after somebody dies, anyone can march into the courthouse. They don't have to be related to you. They don't have to live in your county. They don't even have to live in your country. They can just march in there and say, I want to see the file on this case, and they will see how much you had, what you owned at your death, who's getting everything, and when all the dates, the relevant dates are. So in this day and age, as privacy is getting smaller and smaller, with people targeting money for schemes and get rich quick schemes and fraud, to have all of that data out there in the public is dangerous for a lot of people. So just keep in mind, if your estate goes through probate, it is a public proceeding and anybody can find out about it.
Wow. Is it true or false that probate takes about 3 months?
So probate has a minimum of about 4 months. So
that's false.
is false.
Wow.
In fact, most probates in Wisconsin take about 13 to 14 months.
That's a long time.
The main reason is because we have to usually wait until April of the next year, depending on what time of year it is, for taxes. Exactly. So you can't close a probate down without having done the final tax return for the person who died. And sometimes there's a fiduciary return, meaning after the person died, if there was any income that came in, you have to do another tax return for the estate.
Okay, true or false? An estranged child will probably never know about their parents' probate.
Well, that is a feature of the courts. So part of the probate process is to notify anyone who might have an interest in this. So that is false. The courts require you to find anybody that's a child or a spouse or related person within a certain degree of relation to tell them that something is going on. Even if you have a will that goes into probate and says this person is definitely disinherited, they're not supposed to get anything, we don't want them to know anything about it, the court doesn't care. They have to notify that person in order for that person to come forward and object if they want to.
Wow.
So with a will that goes through probate, you have those rules. We have to sometimes hire private investigators to find people who have not been seen by anyone in the family for 20, 30, sometimes 50 years.
Wow.
And so we find them in Europe sometimes we find that they have passed away, sometimes we find their children, but we have to notify them. so that they can come in and make an objection if they want to.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I mean,
what's
it's also everybody's dream to get notified
Yeah.
that some rich uncle
You might-
passed and like, okay.
what's the best way to avoid putting my estate through probate after I die?
So without a doubt, the best way to avoid probate is to do a revocable living trust or some sort of trust planning. There are different ways to avoid probate. There's downfalls to most of them, but the one with the most highest chance of getting done what you want to have done after you've passed away is a revocable living trust. This allows all of your assets to pass outside of the probate process. It does not require you to notify any disinherited heirs or anybody else that you don't want to know about this stuff. And it just makes things smoother and less complicated for the people that you leave behind.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're out of time, but I assume if people meet with you, you can actually tell them what kind of estate planning is best for their family and the situation that they have.
Yes, of course. We do that all the time, Tiffany. People come in, they tell me a little bit about their family and their situation, and I say, I think this plan would work well for you. And we do all of our planning on a flat fee basis that's quoted at that meeting, and then people can say yes or no. It doesn't cost anything to find out.
That's great.
Sounds like you definitely need an attorney. This
Yeah.
stuff could get really complicated, I
It
think.
can,
Yeah.
and it does.
Good to chat with you, Dan.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, if you have questions about estate planning, you can contact Dan at Krause Estate Planning and Elder Law Center. Here's the number. It's 414-285-1082, or you can visit their website. It's estateplanningpeople.com. Forgot to mention he also has YouTube videos that you can watch and check those out. And they have probate pitfalls that you can check out.